there is no such thing as the President of the United States. Now, most people, when they hear this statement, have an automatic reaction based on what they have been told about the nature of reality to immediately dismiss what I just said. And, just call me crazy, gaslight me, whatever psychological tactics that, they want to use against me because, to keep this corrupt system in place, psychological abuse, violence, and economic warfare are the three main strategies. So those kind of things are generally going to happen to you when you say things that challenge the official narrative of what supposedly reality is. But I'm challenging those who are watching this video to allow yourself to directly see truth as it is and not through a lens based on a narrative that was put into your head about how things work and how this is and how that is, but just to see truth as it actually is. So I'm assuming that everybody who's watching this video knows who, Joe Biden is. They know who Donald Trump is. They know who Barack Obama is, all these people. But right now I'm going to focus on Joe Biden. Now, understand that this is not a political video. This is not any particular trashing of any particular candidate or endorsement of any candidate. But for this example, I'm focusing on Joe Biden. So everybody knows that Joe Biden doesn't know what planet he's on. So what this reveals is that everything you've been told about the president, that he's the executive, is all BS. Because you know that there's no possible way that this man is making any executive decisions. So this is a key moment to really break through in your perception and realize how you've been perceptually deceived to see things in ways that are not true. So we know that he's not doing anything. So this now brings into question, well, has any president ever been actually doing anything? Or have they just been the facade, the public distraction? Have they just, been just a public distraction? This is a question you have to ask when you realize that, wait, the person who supposedly is the president doesn't actually have to be cognitively sound at all, meaning that it probably never existed. There's never been a such thing as a president of the United States, and there has just been this distraction, this face, this facade on the surface to distract us. And so when you start going deep, you realize that this whole thing that they call the presidential election is nothing more than a distraction and energy harvesting ritual. And it uses psychological abuse to keep people in a state of fear so that they keep this infinite loop repeating virus program just endlessly going, just woo, 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 woo. And it's like every election cycle, rah, rah, and then the same BS every year. Wah, 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 rah, rah, It's the same infinite loop that goes on and nothing actually ever changes. And it's the same BS, miserable energy siphoning system that the overwhelming majority of people hate being a part of. A system that drains the majority of people's energy who are just stuck in the rat race, just in an endless, infinite repeating loop, just miserable, wasting all their energy and their life away, serving this corporate system and this ritual you call voting that they get you guys all emotionally invested in through their psychological attacks on everyone, are designed to keep you married to that horrible system and to keep believing that you have to live under those conditions. And if you're a person who wakes up to this deception and you tell people, you're looked at like you're crazy. And they always just say, oh, well, this is just the system we have to work with. And it's a two-part system. And, maybe down the line it can be. And it's like every cycle is the same thing. It's always just later. It's never now. It's never just, let's just end this now. You can see it's fake. You don't elect the president. They have this electoral college. The whole thing is fake. The person who's the president is not the president. They know the president does not exist. This whole thing is a deception to just keep this infinite loop going. This infinite loop. And to just keep us invested in this garbage so that we cannot see past this false dichotomy they've created. So what a false dichotomy is where you make someone think that it's between two options when in actuality, reality is much more colorful than just two options, the black and white thinking. There are other options and possibilities, and there are endless possibilities. And what you guys are about to see is going to be an absolute comedy show, especially like anybody who's subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are definitely going to see this. And a lot of my other followers are going to see this too. You're going to see a gigantic comedy show happening where it is going to be so shockingly revealed just how unreal this whole thing has always been. And the fact that these people have never had any power. These people are illusionists. All they've succeeded in doing is perceptually programming and deceiving people with a system that they knew was eventually going to fail anyway. Because anything that's built on deception and on getting people to accept this idea of them endlessly being siphoned of their energy and more and having to just, like, you look at this society, you got people who are just endlessly working just to chase after ever-inflating debt-based currency that banks create out of nothing through credit. That's interest-bearing debt to them. And the society just keeps subscribing to this scam. And you wonder why it's such a struggle. These poor people out there working 2 jobs. I'm amazed by those people. These people who can work 2 jobs and manage to not blow their brains out. You would just literally have no life if you're working 2 jobs. You want to sit up and distract yourself and fight over how you can continue your own enslavement. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you're about to see the truth. You're about to see that these people never had the power that you perceived they had, and only your belief gave them any power. Because as is said, I forgot who originated this quote, but those who believe don't know. And you people who believe in all this stuff, you literally sound like robots. And it's the same garbage. You guys repeat the same scripts. You share the same links. And it's like this cycle happens over and over again, and people are not waking up to the fact that you're being emotionally manipulated to keep yourself in bondage. There is no president. No one has the right to have any dominion over you. You just have to pay attention to reality. What makes you think some just other mere people have the right to rule you? They're just people. What gives these people the right to own the means of these bankers, to own the economy, to just own energy and claim they own energy and that they own the energy of the earth, and that your job is to be a slave working all the time and to serve in their wars so they can get more energy and just keep operating their energy extraction operation. Just keep doing it. What makes, like, who sold Earth to them? Like, who did they buy it from? These people claim they own Earth and that they own the economic power of the people. Well, who did they buy it from? They didn't buy it from anyone. And nature does not recognize this fake system. This is what you guys have to understand. Nature does not recognize their laws. Their so-called laws that are not laws. They're spells. They're words that they spelled out, and then they got you to subscribe to it. So it's witchcraft. It's like spells. You know what a law is? So I'm sitting here, and where I am right now, if I wanted to boil a pot of water, I would have to get that water to 100 degrees Celsius. And I cannot break that law. That's the law. You can't break the law. Unlike these fake rules these people make up that they enforce through psychology, violence, and economic warfare. And you guys need to understand that economic warfare is the same thing as spiritual warfare. So the psychological warfare attacks the mind. The violence is used on the body. The economic warfare is on the spirit. It's to break your spirit and to get you to give up and to keep believing that you deserve to repeat this endless process that needs to end. That's what samsara is. All these religions, and listen, I'm not trying to so I'm a very spiritual person, but I do not identify with any specific religion because these religions are just another program. And, you hear these people, they mystify things like, samsara, which is actually quite mundane. It's just a simple cycle that we here on earth keep repeating. So we just keep repeating this two-party BS and keep putting it to the future instead of making it now. And that continues the cycle of samsara, the endless loop of suffering. By continuing the power and giving the energy to this system, millions of people will be destroyed economically. Millions of people will die from these wars and also just from poor health and stress from living under this. And you guys need to understand that none of this exists. I don't care if people think I'm crazy. This is such a grand delusion that needs to be exposed. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. That's going to be the end of this rant. Not sure when I'm going to post it, but it's a nice Sunday, and you guys have a great day.